Yeah, hey, how you doing? Welcome back. It's Bruce here for the afternoon session. 1 hour to go till the close. We are now. This is June 22nd, of course. Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday already.
Session.
1 hour
Welcome
to go
one,
till the.
welcome all.
And we've got the markets in positive territory. The Dow's up 79, S&P up 21, and Nasdaq up 87. So all three indexes are higher. Gamestop is right now at 214.98, trying to break 215. Can it do so? It would be kind of nice to see if it happens because um, the shares were as low as the 210 range for like the last 2 hours. And so it would be kind of nice to see if it can pop back over 215 and maybe build a base a little higher than that. But I do not know if it will happen or not. We'll watch for that. Volume on GameStop, 6.98 million, just around 7 million shares. The last 65-day average is 9.6 million, so we're under that at the moment. Okay, we're watching stuff here. We're watching it all. SOFI having a terrible day. Was lower than where it is now. It's 21.54 right now. It got down to 21.15. It was 40 cents or 39 cents lower than this. We've had a bit of a bounce back all in the last 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. Volume of 4.9 million. No one is saying anything. There's no announcement. There's no news. There's absolutely nothing. It's just whatever it's doing, it's doing. 21.54 now, down 97 cents on the session. $14 gain on GameStop, 14.39 now. Trying to break 200 and into the 215. There it is. It just did it. 215 on GameStop. It did break through it. I thought it might, and it did it. It's now up 14.76 at the moment. ATIP had a quiet day, a nice pop, a slow drop, and a little bounce back at the moment. Low of the day, 9.11. Right now, 9.25, up 16 cents. High in the day, 9.44. The range for ATIP, let's be fair, 33-cent range. So being up 16 cents, we're not doing much of anything there, but we are a little better, certainly not deteriorating. AMC's had an interesting day. It started down, went lower, got down to 51.07 today. And then around 1 in the afternoon, it broke even. It got back to the flat line, but it kept on going. And from 51.07 low to 58.73 for the high, right now 57.17, holding most of this gain from the low of the day for sure. Volume 147 million shares on AMC. So yeah, it's having a good day, good power up day from a lousy start. Gore's been up all day. She's up 41 cents to 14.67 right now. It did touch 15.15 this morning for a brief while around 10 o'clock. So hit the moment 14.67 on 280,000 shares. We now know the vote date is July the 20th. We now know that. And so people can begin to concentrate on the fact that Matterport and Gore's have a rendezvous for July the 20th. And away we go shortly after the July 20th date. I'm not sure exactly which date, but not too long after that, the stock symbol will change and it'll become Matterport. So we'll keep you posted. So that's having an effect, a positive effect on Gore's today. 23andMe, funny day, was up on the start, down all day, barely broke even a little while ago, and now down again. 16 cents though. The range is only 68 cents from low to high for 23andMe, and it's at 11.57 right now. The low is 11.30. So she's off 15 cents, but kind of in the mid-range of where she's been all day on 1.6 million today. No official news that I'm aware of coming from the company today. On other SPACs and stocks we follow, Fifth Wall up 3 cents. Vector down 7 cents to 10.34. Navsite unchanged. Starboard unchanged. Over on VanEck Vectors, the SMH ETF, it's up 75 cents on the day. Not a lot going on there. Home Depot powering higher, up another 5.60 today. This stock is definitely picking up some steam here. It got down to as low as 2.98 on June the 18th, just 4 days ago. It was down to 2.98. 3.13 now. Excuse me, pardon moi. So it's holding right in there and more. It's doing very well today. Home Depot. IBM down 36 cents. We can take that. Hang on. Oh boy, I'm having issues. Hold on there, kids. The sneezing won't stop. IBM down 36 cents. It's been down all day, but just slightly. IBM last week got as low as 143 range. Today, it's ranged from 145.30 to 146.80. A $1.50 swing all day for IBM, and at the moment it's down 38 cents. So there's no problem there. The only gain the IBM managed to get, it did actually break through the break-even line. It was for like 20 minutes around 11 o'clock, and then it just came back again. But it isn't having a bad day at all. It's just kind of 38-cent loss right now. So what? The Dow is now up 102 points, and I think we are trying to reach a new high of the day here. We're about 4 points away from reaching a new high on the day today on the Dow, but it's not a great gain, but we did add 580 points yesterday to start the week. So this is a 680 point pile on from Monday to now to eliminate that Friday loss of 500 and whatever points it was. So looking good. Microsoft up $2.60, up 1%. Apple up $1.38, up 1%. Tesla up $4.58, a little, about 2/3 of 1%. Bed Bath Beyond up 93 cents. BlackBerry up 51. And over on Royal Caribbean down $1.85. Norwegian down 55. Carnival down 54. Amazon up $64, powering higher. Had a $30 drop yesterday. $64 gain today to $3,518. Facebook up $5.85, and that is at $338 now. The all-time high, $339.92. It's within $1 of its all-time high. Facebook just keeps powering up. Google up $8.97 today. There's some of the stocks that we're following there. That's what's going on. Someone wrote me earlier today, and I want to bring this up from time to time. I always mention on this show that if you become a member of this channel, I thank you, and I thank you profusely. You will receive from time to time alerts. You will get alerts as a member from me, either on stocks I follow or that I've recommended or I like, or there's a new stock I found or whatever. So that's always good to know. And when we have classes coming, you'll get these alerts as well. That's coming shortly too. And I mention it often because I want to make sure that if you don't get an alert, some people call me or they'll email me, say, Bruce, I don't get alerts. What's going on? The reason you're not getting alerts most likely has to be nothing personal. It has to be because these alerts come from me to you through YouTube. So I am using the YouTube communication system, the membership links that have been established. I don't have your personal email addresses. I don't have a way to contact you individually. I can only reach out to you through the YouTube and through the membership program. So if you've got any kind of a blockage on any of your devices for junk mail, promotional materials, scam, whatever your computer thinks is, or your device thinks is, not wanted, you could be caught up in that. These YouTube messages could be being filtered out, and so my alerts might well be getting to your address somehow, but then there's a blockage. And so I need you to verify and double check all of your cell phone settings, your tablet settings, or your laptop settings, because I'm not sure what device you used to become a member of my channel. So that might also have something to do with it, that you might have used one device to become a member, but you use another device to follow me, and the other device is blocking messages to you. So you got to look into that. And if I could explain it to you in plain English, I would, but I can't. So I won't. And so now you're on your own again. The good news is you can literally type into Google search, can't or not receiving messages from YouTube on my iPhone, or look up YouTube videos. The same thing. Just do a search bar and saying not receiving messages from YouTube. You know, what do I do? And there are all kinds of videos and tutorials out there to help you figure out your phones, your laptops, your iPads, and what other devices you have to perhaps do sort of some kind of a scan of your settings to figure out what it is in your settings that is screwing it up. And so hopefully any of you out there that have had that problem, it can be resolved and figured out. And I sure hope it'll work out for you. Okay, because I do want you to get these updates from me so that you're up to speed with what's going on, especially on breaking news like we had this morning when our friends at GameStop raised $1.12 billion by selling stock. It sounds like 225.50 is the new number they're using now. 225.50. There are reports coming out, little here, little there, that seem to indicate that GameStop was able to raise money. This 1.1 billion, quite a bit of it was from institutional investors. There are some hedge funds, mutual funds, ETFs that are buying up GameStop blocks of stock when offered blocks through, in this case, Jefferies, for the 5 million shares that were issued from the treasury of GameStop. So that is an interesting development because we were always told by, the Wall Street know-it-alls that this is a meme stock only. GameStop is only being followed by retail investors, and it's the dumb money that has moved up this market. Now we're finding out, surprise, surprise, with all the moves that have been made corporately by Cohen and his team and the hiring he's done, the kind of people he's brought in, this is attracting institutional cash. And this is a departure. And this tells me, this is a big screaming point telling me, look, if these guys find, if and I say these guys, I mean GameStop. If GameStop finds a deal that they want to put together that requires a $5 billion, amount of money or more, combination of stock, bonds, and what have you, these guys might well be able to raise that kind of cash on a takeover deal. So all of a sudden, in my mind, GameStop could be a possible buyer of either one asset or 5 assets that add up to $10 billion over the next year or so. 2 billion here, billion there, 2 billion there, $1.5 billion there. You never know. So there could be a bit of a buying spree going on, an acquisition spree going on by GameStop. That would be really interesting. We'll see what happens. This company is evolving. This GameStop company is completely turning over. It is no longer this little brick and mortar company in trouble anymore. And then the pandemic was going to put it out of business and all that. That line of thought is over. And now it's, what will the future bring for the GameStop company and what direction will it head? And just how is this company going to evolve going forward? Of course, we are following the track of the e-commerce roadway. We're heading down that highway, and the company is definitely moving full speed ahead on the e-commerce side of things. So that's one thing we know. The rest of it, a lot of possibilities. See what happens. Anyway, there's your little tidbit there. Okay, thank you for joining me today. The Dow up 132 higher. It's the high of the day right now in the last hour coming on, powering up. The chairman of the Federal Reserve is testifying in front of Congress. It's like watching paint dry, but the market likes what it hears so far. It seems to like what it sees, and so the market is building. S&P is up 26 points, doing even better than the Dow, and the NASDAQ is the big winner. It's up 100 points, but it's up 0.75 of a percentage point, almost double the performance of the Dow. So the three big markets are definitely moving higher. Oil is down today, 58 cents a barrel to 73.08. But hey, 73.08, that is a price we haven't seen this stuff hang around at for quite some time. Again, I don't believe in it. I don't I don't understand why it's so high. There is a ton of oil everywhere. There's no shortage, but summer driving season in anticipation of the economy opening and people just so jazzed up, and you can't calm them down. So okay, fair enough. It is what it is. What are we going to do? John Van is asking me, June 25 SOFI $23 calls. What do I do or can I do before moving forward here? So you have calls that die this Friday. They're $23 calls. You're $1.50 out of the money, and there's not much you can do. You probably have a very little value of any kind right now on these contracts. You need a move on this market. You need a move. The stock needs a move for you, but it's down $1.03 today. It's absolutely going the absolute wrong direction at the worst possible time. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you may still be bailed out by some point, but I don't know by how much. No idea. Yeah, there you go. Uncle Bruce, if diamond-handed retail investors can save GameStop and arguably AMC, who's next? They've already saved Hertz. They've saved Hertz already. They kept Hertz alive long enough to keep it going. But it's true that theoretically, companies that are in economic turmoil, if they could catch the imagination of meme investors, the stock could be accumulated, and if it goes up high enough, the company could do a stock issuance to stay alive. I'll tell you this: the cruise lines have definitely utilized their popularity among cruisers and investors who are always looking to buy into cruise ship stock as a sort of any kind of inkling of good news, with regard to the virus. The cruise ship stocks would go higher, and the cruise lines use that movement to dump stock. And we're not talking about 2 or 3 million shares like GameStop here, or 5 million shares like GameStop. We're talking 20, 30 million shares at a chunk, 40 million shares at a time. Huge amounts of stock have been liquidated by all three cruise lines to bring in billions of dollars. The burn rate for the three cruise lines was, $1 billion plus a month, nonstop. It was just absolutely just endless how much money they needed. They really were hurting. And so that they've used the popularity of their stock to keep raising cash and survive. The catch now, of course, is the cruise lines need to keep on bringing their ships back and staffing them up and all this, where they're spending right now millions of dollars per ship to get every ship up to standard to get ready to accept passengers. And but at a third capacity, half capacity, it's going to be a long time. Like, they're not making money at half capacity. I can guarantee you they are not even breaking even at half capacity. But they've got to get these ships moving, and they've got to get these ships completing voyages. They have to complete voyages with happy customers who tell all their friends how happy they are. This is what they have to do now. This will take months into the end of the year and into next year. So it'll be next spring by the time the cruise lines are up and running with all their ships, we hope, and maybe at 3/4 to 80% to 100% capacity. I'm not sure how long it'll be. Then they can make money again. And but even then, God, they're not going to make a lot of money. They're man. 2019 was the last year they had a good year, and they were running at 104 to 108% capacity on their ships, and they were still, every month or two or three, jacking up their prices. They were jacking up their tip rates. They were jacking up their prices for booze. They would jack up their cost of rooms. They were bumping up their fees every way they could, any way they could. And the complaints were getting louder and louder and louder. And in the end, Royal Caribbean made money, but their percentage is like 4% net percentage. It was so thin, razor thin. And now, today, their costs are much higher than they were 2 years ago. The biggest expense increase for Royal Caribbean and everybody else, interest expenses to their lenders, their bankers. These guys are billions in the hole, billions. And they didn't get 2% financing. They didn't get 1.5% 10-year loan financing. No, they're getting financing at 5, 8, 10, 12%. And that means that even if they generated the gross revenues of 2019, they might break even now. They might break even because they'll be using whatever profits they used to make will all go to the bankers now to pay down those loans. And it'll take 5 years to get those loans low enough so that there's a bottom line profit for the cruise line. Remember, cruise lines are competing for your dollars with Universal, Disney World, any resort anywhere, Vegas, all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean, all over the place. I mean, every Caribbean country has a vested interest in their own land-based resorts to do well over a cruise ship, because cruise ships don't earn the kind of money for an island that 2-week long or 1 week long staying passengers do. You spend a week in the Cayman Islands, you're going to drop $10,000-12,000 as a couple for a week easily in a nice resort. You're going to like it. It's first class. It's great, but you're dropping some coin, and you are helping to employ dozens of people. Each of you, all of you, you're helping to employ all kinds of people. Sleepy Investor, thank you for joining us as a new member. I'm glad you're here. But you come to the island as a cruise ship passenger to the Cayman Islands. You're dropping the island's getting maybe $20 off you. That's about it, because they get a kind of a landing fee. When you get off the ship and that stuff, it's not a lot of money. They're hoping that you're going to take a tour. They might make some money off of that, but the ships get at least half of that money as commissions. They're hoping you buy a T-shirt on the island. They hope you buy maybe a hat. Maybe you'll buy a coffee mug, or you'll buy a postcard. I mean, you're not going to drop 20 grand on the island in 3 hours unless you're buying a high-end, Patek Philippe wristwatch. You're not dropping many dollars on the island. And so these hordes of tourists coming in from cruise ships are bringing in maybe 1/10 of the tourist money that folks who fly in for a week bring in. Because those folks rent cars. They go out to dinner every night. They go to see entertainment. They travel the island and see all kinds of different shops. They might turn out to become condo buyers. They might find that they love this place so much that they buy a condo down there, and they come down now for 3 months every year, maybe 6 months a year. This is where the island really rakes it in. They rake it in from the folks who spend 6 nights a week, 2 weeks. It's not uncommon for regulars, like absolute diehards, 20 year in a row visitors to the Caymans. They come down for a month at a time. When they come down in the winter, they spend a whole month down there because they know that lifestyle and they love that place. That's where the money is. Cruise ship passengers, So the cruise lines are up against it. They're in competition with everything on the land at the same time. All right, enough of that. 145-point gain on the Dow right now. 37 minutes to go. The S&P is up 28 points and NASDAQ up 115. The markets are strong, looking good, looking smart coming into the end of the day here. They look like they have positive momentum. The paint is still drying on CNBC over here. Unfortunately, SOFI is not enjoying the party. They're not part of the party today. 21.40 on the stock, down $1.11. SOFI is low of the day, 21.15. Right now, 21.40. Don't know why it's going down. Don't like it's going down. I don't believe it should be going down. It's a $30 stock on really recommendations and book values. Would easily put them up to that level. But 21.35 right now is the market, and you can't argue with the market. That is what it is. GameStop, 213.27, up $12.90 a share. They got to 215, held it for a while, and now we backed off again, but just a tiny bit. Still holding a very good gain on the day. ATIP is at $9.24, up 15 cents. AMC holding a gain of $1.69. It's 57.38. Gore is holding a gain of 59 cents. Actually, it's powering up a little bit here. 14.84 again. Getting better on Gore's. 23andMe has turned to the positive line. It has reached the break even at 11.72. It is unchanged right now on the day as it is coming back to this level. Will it hold it, break it, or give it up? We don't know. But I don't see much in the way of movement on 23andMe today. Because again, the total range of 23andMe has been 68 cents. That's all it's done today. Quiet day on movement. Would be nice to see it in the green, though. Fifth Wall up 9 cents to 11.55. Vector up down a nickel. Nav site unchanged. Starboard up a penny. there you have the market right there. 152 point gain, 153 now on the Dow Jones. All right, thank you, everyone who's here. Any questions I can answer, I'll do what I can, and we'll see what we can do. You think that if they were to unfreeze Walt Disney from his cryo, that it would have an effect on the stock? Oh man, I don't know if today's world would like Walt Disney very much with his conservative views and his ways. Different time, different era, different people. Oh my gosh, yeah. Sleepy Insider saying, "Hey, thank you for welcoming me. I've been lurking a couple of months now. Finally joined in. Glad you've made it to join us. This is good stuff." Bruce, Jake is wondering, the cruise line should bring back transatlantic crossings. I'd rather stay on a floating hotel for a few days and deal with airlines. Hey, I hear you, but I got to tell you, man, it was in the 50s, in the very late 40s, but in the 50s, that was a glory decade, a glorious decade. If you were a senior executive of a New York-based company that did business in Europe, or a London-based or Paris-based company that did business in North America, those were the glory days for you, because if you had to do transatlantic trips as the president of a company or a board member, you would come across the Atlantic with your wife, most likely, and incorporate a holiday around the trip. And you would need 6 days to come across. You would need 6 days to get back. And you would likely incorporate a couple of weeks, say in New York or in London or in Paris, on either side of this trip. I tell you, that would have been that is a glorious time to have been a senior executive of a company, to literally be needed in person for a series of meetings for, say, 5-6 days of work, and then you would take a week or two off with your wife, including the trip each direction, because you couldn't fly it. In 1950, you really couldn't fly it. It was more or less doable, but not really. It didn't take off until the mid-50s with prop planes that would at least hop their way over, maybe from the UK to Iceland, and then Iceland to Gander and over. But until the jet came out in 59, 60, the cruise lines had it all. The ocean liners had the business. There are fantastic photos, aerial photos of New York Harbor, where on the west side of Manhattan would have been 4 or 5 or 6 transatlantic vessels coming in and sitting on the same day, dropping off and picking up passengers and provisions for the next trip back to England. What a time that would have been. You'd have several cruise lines for choices, probably 5 or 6. You could have gone from New York to Southampton, New York to Le Havre, which is the Paris nearest for Paris. You could have gone to you've taken a cruise ship into Barcelona. You could have taken a cruise ship to Lisbon. Could have taken an ocean liner, to Rome. Right into the heart of the Mediterranean and back. So the Andrea Doria would have been one of those that would have been occasionally offering this kind of service. Top-notch luxury. Your wife, your better half, she would have a different evening gown every evening for dinner. There would be no excuse not to have one every evening. The husband would have his own tuxedo, if not a couple, and wear one, and the other one is being dry cleaned on a rotating basis. Several shirts, ties. This is absolute mandatory standard fare. If you're in first class on a transatlantic, you are dolled up to the nines, and you are theoretically traveling as a husband and wife alone, but you could also be traveling with maybe 2 other couples, 3 other couples from the company. So that it would be the top end of the corporate hierarchy, crossing the Atlantic for these business sessions. And you're in first class luxury all the way, all paid for by the company. Yeah, that would be pretty darn nice. Well, in today's world, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you want to look at it, You've got business class and first class service on aircraft to fly over to the on the Atlantic and work your way to London or Paris or Frankfurt or wherever you have to go to. But you're in the air between 5 and 7 hours or 8 9 hours if you're flying from the West Coast. And that's about it. But there are those out there, the executives out there, who don't feel like they're in a lap of luxury. They are flying in. They're flying in on an overnighter, doing a day or two of business and flying back, and expect to be back in the office for the rest of the week. It can be taxing. It's kind of fun the first few times, but after that, it becomes just a job, and it just becomes a tedious thing to do. I remember one thing I heard before the COVID took place. As a matter of fact, as soon as COVID happened, I found out this information. It was how flights between the U.S. and China were being curtailed. And one of the things that I found interesting was that United Airlines had had an arrangement with Apple that out of San Francisco, United has 2 flights a day flying from San Francisco to Shanghai and back. Like there's 2 trips leaving a day and 2 trips coming back every day during the week to Shanghai and San Francisco. Apple had on standby. They had purchased and always had they were always in possession of. I'll get this out. They were always in possession of 25 business class seats a flight, 50 seats a day, 250 seats a week. They had to Shanghai and back, all booked by Apple, always, like reserved for and only for Apple people. And that blew my mind. That just blew my mind. So you're thinking, wow, the cost of a round trip business fare from Frisco to Shanghai, 13-hour flight or so, 14-hour flight, round trip would be about $6,000, $7,000, and they've got 50 a day nailed down. That's $350,000 a day in business flights reserved for Apple, no matter what, every day of the week. That's $1.75 million a week. That is $85 million a year. And I'm thinking to myself, how many of these do they have to sell to pay for that? The profit margin on these has got to be pretty darn good. And it is very good. The phones and the iPads and everything else. And you think about the other costs involved to get people from one place to another to do their business and then get them back. While, when they fly, you have people flying from China into San Francisco, you have to put them up, feed them, get the work done, and get them back home. The same thing from America over to China and back. The dollars are stunning. It is incredible. Obviously, without the invention of the jet, we wouldn't have iPhones. There would be no way. Can you imagine if Apple now had to, all of a sudden we couldn't fly anymore for whatever reason you can't fly, and it can only be done by ship to get from the U.S. to China. You can only go by ship now. Are you kidding me? It would take 10 days, 8 days each direction. I mean, how do you do? Can't do it. Unbelievable. So anyway, I found that to be a really cool stat when I heard that. I thought, wow, that is stunning. That's just one company sending executives to China and back to check the factories and with their engineers and their consultants. And yeah, wow, whoa, that's incredible. Yeah, the cost of business and the ability of business to do business is a fascinating thing. At least to me, I find it incredibly fascinating that the kind of dollars that have to be spent to conduct business, for you and I to have the convenience of these, toys. Maybe they're more essential. They're more essential to us than toys, obviously. But the thought of that, and this is just one company. There are 10 different companies that make phones. I mean, my gosh, absolutely amazing. And that's just one field of business as well. Incredible. Anyway, $213.94 on Gamestop. It looks like it wants to try to run at 214 again. Maybe it'll take a shot through there and get to the 215 level, and maybe we can go higher. Wouldn't that be nice? Apple up 13.57 today. No complaints, but boy, it would be nice to see another pop here if it could take another run. We are now down to 25 minutes to go in the day here. before the markets shut down. We just broke $214 share at 214.25. Very good. Anyway, these transatlantic crossings. I love that question. That took me on a tangent. Chris, Uncle Bruce, do you feel that most of the SPACs we're discussing are suited for being held long-term over a year or more? They could be. They could well be. They could all do a fairly short 2-month spurt. They could have a nice little shot in a month, but they could also be long-termers indeed. And some of these might well be really good income generators for you on a long-term basis, because you're going to use these stocks to write options down the road at much higher levels than this. Absolutely. Let's see. John Van, I'm having to hammer tile out of my master bath using 2.5-pound hammer. I don't know why. Why should we care? GIB SOFI, I don't know what that means. Totally sucks. There you go. I feel for your back tomorrow, John Van. There you go. I don't envy you, John. There you go. Maybe he's looking for pity. It's okay. We all need it. We all deserve it from time to time. It's all right. I don't know. Hope it works out. Let's see. I read an article on SOFI that at the end said that they see it as a $43 stock. I've heard that and more. I have 214.48 on Gamestop right now, by the way. SOFI, unfortunately, is not 43. It's half that, 21.28. So it's 50% off the target of this article here. So, okay, I have bought a lot of SPACs. I have faith, and I believe in you too. I think you're going to do just fine. As a Canadian investor, which is the better strategy when investing in U.S. stocks? Should I buy stocks and options with Canadian funds and then pay the exchange, or put the cash into a U.S. account? Yeah, we in Canada, we run into this problem a lot. If you're an active trader in Canada and you're getting caught in the exchange game, you're losing 1 or 2 or 3% exchange rate every transaction you make. You're getting murdered. You're getting annihilated. You might just do one time only transfer into U.S. funds and leave it there, and then trade with U.S. funds. But I can't. Your firm that you're dealing with will give you whatever rate they're giving you. If that's a good rate, great. If it's not, you've got to go to somebody else. You might do it another way. I don't know. To each, it's not for me to tell you, but it is a problem. I do understand that it is a problem. Let's go. Thank you, everybody. Let's go. There's an SEC rule going into effect tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see what that does. I like Sassy Bruce. So ATIP has been down for a while. Can you explain your bullish thoughts on why the shares will soar higher? And should we expect a slow, fast run up? Just asking for your opinion on the matter. I can't answer this question. I don't know. I don't know what the intention of the company is. I don't know what the intention of senior management is. I don't know what the intention of the investor relations department has. I don't know what these guys are up to beyond the fact that they just became listed. Are they now in deep discussions for a takeover with somebody? Are they trying to buy somebody up and they can't speak? Are they in the middle of all kinds of deals right now, and they're not paying attention to the stock so much because they're in the middle of all kinds of really big developments that are going to make this stock go crazy? There's your answer right there. Look at this. If I had the answer, you'd have the answer. You wouldn't even be asking me if I had the answer. I'm not holding anything back from you. But I share your frustration. I totally share it. We want to know. Yeah, we would really like to know. I would love these CEOs to call press conferences and talk to shareholders. Like, we just got listed. We're really excited about the future of our company. We're about 215 on GameStop. We just got listed. We're really excited. These are our plans. I would love those kinds of meet and greets. Get in front of microphones and get in front of your shareholders. You have a whole bunch of shareholders who don't know who you are. That's the reality right now of any SPAC that just turned over into ATIP, for example, and SOFI. We don't know these people. We don't know who they are. We're the shareholders who've been out here a while in the SPACs. Who are you guys? I mean, tell us your hopes, dreams, aspirations. Give us some kind of a sign of what it is you're trying to do. but they don't work like that. And every company is different than any other company. That's the other. There's no playbook. The SEC doesn't have a playbook for everybody. There is no playbook. It is you're on your own. And so we as investors, we look at the deal and we go, the deal looks good. The company looks interesting. The financing looks good. The pipe financing is great. Everything is there. All the ingredients are there for a successful run. Now, what happens with the stock now? And here I am. Here I am now talking to you going, I wish I could be more specific. I think it's going to be a winner because I know, having taken a company public, I know the trials and tribulations you have to go through, the stress you have to go through to do it. And I can tell you the stress I caused people when I was the president of a private company that was trying to go public. I caused untold frustration on people. I passed it on, and it took us 1.5 years, and I was a former stockbroker. I knew what we were doing. It still took us that long to go public back in the day. These guys have just been through the ringer too, and they're not here for a 924 stock. We were just touching 216 on GameStop. So all of these SPACs, all of the people involved in the private companies, all of the people involved in the SPAC itself, all of the advisors to all these people, all of the folks in the Wall Street brokerage community, the investment banking community, all of their clients who all put hundreds of millions of dollars together. We're talking collectively 8 stocks here. We're talking $8 billion, $7 billion of assets, cash, hopes, dreams, and aspirations are on the line now. This is serious money. These aren't nickel and dime little companies. This is serious money on the line across all the SPACs that I have mentioned to you that I am following here. These people have got everything they've got into it. Everything emotionally, everything, the tension, the frustration, the sense of accomplishment, and the long-term objectives. These guys are not done yet. They've only just started a new chapter in their lives. They now are involved in a publicly traded company that they fought tooth and nail to get to this stage. You and I are now talking about ATIP that is 4 days old on the stock exchange. Now, we have the right. We have the absolute God-given right to criticize these guys every minute of the day, all the time. We can say whatever we want about this stock. We can look at that stock and call them losers. We can do whatever we want to. But I know from where I sit and from what I went through to get my company publicly traded, the absolute how do I say it? What you have to give up, what you have to sacrifice in your sanity and your everything to get these companies to this level is unthinkable. You just, a lot of you out there just don't know, and it's all right. You don't have to know. You don't have to care either, by the way. You don't have to care. But I'm telling you, everything that these people are about, their entire reputations are on the line. Their entire professional reputations, their family name is on the line. The company name is on the line. All the employees that these executives now represent, of which in some cases are hundreds, others are thousands. All of the companies they do business with around the world that they've done business with for years, every relationship they have is on the line. Everything is on the line and will be judged by everyone by how their stock does. And so ATIP could have a record quarter next quarter, and if the stock does not go up enough, people will criticize these guys for not doing anything good. Yet they're going to be in their offices going, what do we have to do? We're making all kinds of money here. How come the stock isn't doing this? This can happen. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it could. I hope it won't. But something is telling me that every one of these SPACs, they didn't go through all this effort just to go public and now go, well, let's just hope for the best. That isn't the plan, kids. There are millions of reasons, if not billions of reasons now, for these shares to reflect accurately the prospect of the company and its future. And I can tell you that these top people who have managed to get these companies listed, they will hire the right firms, entities, and individuals to reflect and get that message out to the market as a whole. Because this is the difference between a private company and a public company. A public company has to be observed by all the shareholders every 13 weeks. We get to look at the books, and once a year we get our hands on the annual report that is signed off by an independent auditor with all those footnotes in there, with all the dirty little secrets and details. These guys are now an open book to what they're about, and we get to judge them. And Orion's comment right here, talking about, well, what do you think? You know, it's been a little while now. Totally fair. It's a fair comment to make. It's a fair question to make. The executives consider it completely unfair because they just got listed last week. I mean, we just got listed. But yes, you did get listed ATIP, but you're down under $10 a share. So we as shareholders have a right to go, hey, what's up? How come your stock isn't over $10 a share? Why isn't it just 11? Why is it 9.24? We have the right to ask that. And so I'll pass that on back to you from kind of on their behalf, going, I'll tell you what they would tell you. We're on it. We know. We're not ignoring this. We're aware of this. We're not happy about it. We can't sell any stock. We're not going to sell any stock. We are busy right now on 15 different things going on at the same time, and our lawyers are telling us we can't talk about that, we can't talk about that, but we will be talking about this, we will be doing about that. We've got plans to do all kinds of promotion and exposures and to let the world in on what we're about. Do not fret, but we apologize for the momentary delay in our shares being at $9.24 a share. That's all they can do, and I'll do that on their behalf from here. Gamestop 216.59. That stock's going up. Something's going up. Anyway, there you have it. Thank you, everybody. Let's go here. Yesterday, GameStop traded at $199 to $200 for 2 hours. And 2 hours ago, it traded at $209 to $210, reminding me of the SPACs being held at $9.99. Wonder if they're still buying blocks outside the offering. I don't know. It's $217 now. It's going higher. Orion, hey, Uncle B. So ATIP has been down a while. Can you explain your bullish thoughts on the shares? Blah, blah, blah. There you have it. Same comment, second time. I got it. Let's say I write, let's say I write a covered call for next Friday. If the call is in the money anytime before Friday, will my stock be called anytime or on Friday the call expires? Okay. If the stock goes in the money for a little while and then goes back out of the money, and on Friday night it's out of the money, and you weren't bought out, you're done. You're good. 99.9% of the people who buy calls, they don't want to buy the stock. They don't want the stock. They don't want anything to do with the stock. They just want the stock to go up so they can sell the contract at a higher price. That's all they want. That's all they live for. And what they would really ultimately like is that they get in at $1 a unit, $1 a share, $100 a contract, sell at $200 contract. Nice flip. Thank you very much. It's great. And if they buy the call from you because you wrote it, and then they sell it back to you because you're buying it back, and they made money, they're happy. You didn't make money, you're upset. Of course, the good news is, in a roundabout way, if you write a call for $1 and you buy it back for $2, the only reason you'd buy a call back for $2 that you sold for $1 is because your stock went up and you own the stock. So actually, you're richer on your stock, a little poorer on the contract, you're okay. The gambler over here put up 100, got 200, and took off. Happy times. Your contract's going the money. There is no guarantee you'll be called. Your contract stays in the money for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There's no guarantee you'll be called. There's no guarantee you'll be called until the very, very end. And it is likely at the very end of it, if it's in the money, you'll then be bought out. Yes, because the end holders of the contracts have in the money contracts. That's true. If you refuse to buy back your contract and it's in the money, you will be exercised. Oh, yes. That's the final solution for the contract holder. The person that holds the contract will get their dough. Yes, they will. Their book value. 217 to 218 on GameStop right now. Coming on a little stronger. Volume now on GameStop is showing 7.5 million, and we're down to 10 minutes in the day. SOFI 21.30, the low of the day 21.15. Still not looking great at the moment. ATIP 9.24 up 14 cents. AMC up 184 to 57.53. Gores 14.93 up 67 cents. Trying to reach that 15 barrier again right now. 14.93 on 418,000 shares. 23andMe 11.76 up 4 cents. Gone positive finally. How about that? Okay, let's see what's going on here. ME just went green. How about that? SOFI only has 5,000 shares available to borrow. The IE short and interest to borrow is 226%. Look for this to take off. Possible short squeeze. I agree. I am convinced that SOFI is going to go just on a short squeeze. Whether it's a 1-day short squeeze, a 2-day short squeeze, 5 million share short squeeze, I don't know what, but this thing is getting hit for people thinking they can crush this thing down to $10. It's not happening. I don't believe it. Let's see. She would have an evening gown for dinner. Yes, your wife would have in the winter crossings. She'd have the mink stole, or the fox fur, or whatever, with the dress. Come into the restaurant, take that off, and then eat dinner. And then you would go to the lounge, and that's where the smoking lounge is, and you'd have cocktails there. The band would start to play, and then you would do some dancing. If you were with several couples, you would have the gals might go off on their own to a smoking lounge for themselves, and the guys will hang out and go to the cigar bar and do some drinking over there. Every night. Now they have a movie theater on board your cruise ship, so you might watch a show that night. Might be you won't have the kind of productions we have today, by the way, the Hollywood productions that the cruise ships have. They didn't have that back then. They had a movie theater on board, so you'd get a different movie every day. You'd have a matinee in the daytime, a movie in the evening. The husband might be in the cabin doing some work, doing some paperwork for a few hours, or going into a part of the ship where part of the dining room where he'd have a table, he could do some work, and he would get telegrams sent back and forth from head office, so that he'd be in touch with what's going on. I mean, it wouldn't be totally cut off from the world, but there wouldn't be a lot of communication. A lot of work would be set up at home office and at the office he's going to, and by the time he gets there, they are waiting. There are appointments lined up every half hour every day for 5 straight days in a row, or forever how long he's going to be there for. A couple of special meetings or special lunches, and then evening sessions with, again, either business people or in a formal capacity where, again, he and his wife would attend perhaps an awards presentation of some kind, or some kind of a speech by some Chamber of Commerce people, or it would be a company function, formal function, a shareholders function, partners function. And you're dressed to the nines in tuxedos. Yeah, and you are an ambassador for your company from overseas. This would carry serious responsibilities, and you would have to have a delicate style in people management. You'd have to get along with every stripe of political suasion, and you'd have to get along with every kind of nationality, and you'd have to know the customs. And this is 1954, 53. You couldn't look this up on Google quickly. 219 on GameStop, going higher. Yeah, those are different rules. Those are different times. These are guys that would today be paid $1 million a year. These are the top end guys, $2 million a year. These would be the very high paid people who are in charge of thousands of employees. And these entities would make sure that their top people would be well looked after and would be the best of the best. With deep connections politically and in business. Deep connections. 220 on GameStop. The rule of margin goes into effect tomorrow. Let's see what happens. I don't know anyone that eats in evening gowns anymore. Yeah, I know. It's only in the movies. Yeah, what can I say? Hey, your covered call could be exercised before then. Maybe not, but you can always buy the contract back. That's true, too. Okay. Consensus is that the hot dog bun should be sliced on the top, not the middle, on the side. What take on the toppings? Ketchup, mustard, relish, onions, chili. You got to talk to the president of the company for that. The guy standing beside the woman in the evening ground, ask him how to handle your hot dog. He'll talk to you about that. They're known as frankfurters, by the way. They're not hot dogs, young man. They're frankfurters. Get it together. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't survive in the 50s. Bruce, regarding ocean liners, I'd be down in steerage partying, not figuring out which fork to use in first class. Oh, you are not of the first class variety, are you? You are truly tourist class. I understand. 220 on GameStop right now. The high of the day, 225. We're down to 5 minutes to go. Here we go. Not everything is a short squeeze. GameStop's been fighting for theirs for a half a year. It's not as simple as short stock doing well, what have you. True. Should I buy more SPACs, GameStop, or hold some cash? You've got to make up your own decisions for your own self. I've heard ketchup shouldn't be on hot dogs or sausages, but I'm okay with it. The QE2 still does crossing if you've got the money. That's right. You can do it. Let's see here. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. Yeah. As we try to keep up with you guys. We're getting close. We're 4 minutes away from the close now. Let's keep rolling here. Yes, for your information, $350,000 US a day means Apple is paying 8 billion dong for flights. That's some dong. You got that right. You'd think they have their own planes. They do have their own planes. They do have their own planes for their dedicated staff. They do. The high-end guys do fly over on the company jets. Yes. I'm talking about the mid-level guys. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in Apple who fly around the world all the time who don't get to go in the company jets because they have too many of them and not enough company jets. Yes, but the top ends, yes. Mr. Cook only flies in a private jet. He cannot take a commercial flight. He must travel with bodyguards. He is not allowed to travel on his own. Security, you want to kidnap a guy? Kidnap that guy. No, he's not going anywhere by himself. Oh no, that is part of the work contract, by the way. Anyway, Bruce called me a young man. I haven't heard that in a long time. That's right, young man. I'm telling you right now. Welcome to the show. We got 2-3 minutes to go. We're trying to close this deal out here right now. The market is quickly coming into the end of it. We're at 21.17 on SOFI, down $1.34, unfortunately. GameStop at $219.86. We broke the 220 for just a moment. We have an $18.59 gain on GameStop. I'm not complaining. It's just been great. ATIP is 923 at 14 cents. AMC holding at 58.30. And Gore's at 15.02, broke the $15 level. ME back under the water line, down a nickel. Nubu Nobu, hey uncle, just check SoFi on iBorrowdesk. The borrowing fee is at 226.8%. Unbelievable. That is crazy. Wild stuff. Kidnappings with Bruce. How about that? Selling covered calls. Now more than making up for share value. Decreases in my portfolio. Thanks, Uncle Bruce. There you go. Freethinker. I'm pretty sure GameStop just sold their private jets. Yes, they had one. They had I think a 10-year-old jet, and they sold it for something like $2.5 million. It wasn't worth a lot of money. It was an older jet. But now if they want to fly anyone around on a jet, they could probably just use net jets and do fractional ownership or go by the hour. But I don't even know if they do that anymore. Interesting. Let's see. Bang. Now you know why you can fly to Shanghai in economy round trip for $1,000. You can go 500 there and $500 back, Shanghai and back, because up at the front, Apple has taken 25 business class seats on every flight. No problem whatsoever. The rest of them are gone by everybody else, by the way. That's where the money is made by the aircraft in business class and or first class. Indeed. Averaged up and doubled my position on SoFi today. Thank you for the tasty dip. Again, I agree. If you had a chance to pick up any of this SoFi today was definitely a day to scoop some of this stuff up. Oh my gosh, what else is going on here? 221 on GameStop, trading 221 right now as we come into the close right now. 221.23 or so. A very good day for GameStop. They raised the money. They've got the dough. I like it. And I think they're on their way. I think they use Wheels Up to fly private. What can I say? We're in the last few seconds here. The bells are ringing. There they go. The bells are going now. The clapping is going on. We have a 77-point gain on the Dow, 21 on the S&P, 106 on NASDAQ. And do I believe him? I don't doubt his sincerity and his brains and brilliance, but I don't know if imminent is the right word. And imminent for one person is different for somebody else. So, who can say for certain there will or will not be one? I just know that this market is flush with cash right now, as is the economy, and will be for quite some time yet. Apple had a great day today, apparently. That is good to hear. I show Apple closing at 168, and I see Microsoft up 288 today. And Microsoft also has jets that move a lot of people around as well. Believe me on that one. Let's see. And I'm not sure if these shorts understand SoFi could be a buying bank. Any positive news, this thing will be soaring high. I agree. This SoFi will take off at any time, and when it does, it will leave the shorts in misery, absolute misery. But what are you going to do? You can't. I'm not going to get in the middle of somebody who's going to make a mistake. I mean, people are losing money because my viewers are making money. What, am I upset about that? How am I supposed to be upset about that? I'm happy for my viewers. You guys are the ones who are toughing this out. You're the ones who are coming through here and hanging on and going, I'm not shaking. You're not shaking me out. No. I'm watching Uncle Bruce, and we're not shaking here. We're going to watch this market. We're going to follow this market. We're going to average down in this market. We're going to score, and they will pay. Now, maybe some of these shorters might be right. Maybe they shorted at 23 and they're going to buy back at 21 here. Great for them. But in the end, there will be problems. Those who are against SoFi are going to pay dearly, but that's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Thank you all for hanging around and seeing us today and being with us. Love it. Exciting times coming up. We are going to be busy. GameStop looks like the final trade. I'm showing at 219.59, up 19.22 today. No complaints here. This is a super run on the stock today. Let's see what it can do tomorrow. Remember this. They raised $1.12 billion at $25.50 a share, average price. Stock close to $219. It's not even equal to what institutions were buying this stock for. This stock underperformed today. When you really think about it, it underperformed its recent capital raising ability. In reality, to me, you guys just raised $1.12 billion over at GameStop, and you have $1.9 billion in the bank now. I don't know why this stock isn't $250 today. This stock is $30 too low right now, based on just what they've done corporately with the amount of money they've raised. That's my opinion on it. I think it's a positive thing that they raised this cash. It's not a negative with respect to dilution or anything like that. I'd like to see them issue another 5 million shares, do it at $275, $300 a share, and get that balance up to $3.5 billion. That would be fine by me. Take this company to another level that no one had anticipated it would ever get to, and this stock is gone. But we are not seeing, I don't believe, we are not seeing the big army of buyers coming into the stock. We're not seeing another million people coming in to buy up this stock right now. There's not enough. The kind of news that they would want to buy 1 share, 2 shares, 5 shares is not being conveyed right now. Why would someone want to buy whatever they can get at any price? Is because they think this is going to $1,000 a share in an awful hurry. That's obviously not happening right now. There's positive vibes. Yep, people feel good. Yep, it's all there, but not $1,000 a share vibes. Not those vibes. They're not there. They were there a week and a half ago when we got to the 330 level. There were vibes going around that, oh, this might run to 400 here, might go to 500. There were people jumping in, but that is over right now. That is not happening. And here we are at 219, 220, not running at the moment, and underperforming just this announcement today of a $245 a share price being paid by institutional investors for 1.12 billion GameStop. This news would have been a sensation in January. This would have been unthinkable in January that institutions would be buying this stock at $2.25 a share, having just been $5 a share 3 months earlier. Just think about that. When if you were watching me in late January and in February, you witnessed this guy with this face yelling at this computer again and again and again, day after day, week after week. I was screaming for GameStop to issue stock and raise cash. The shares were $200, $300, $400, and I was begging them, please issue paper from your treasury. Do whatever you got to do. File whatever you got to file. Raise cash at these prices, you guys. And they didn't. They didn't raise a dime back in January or February. They didn't raise any money. They waited until their annual report, their annual meeting, their annual meeting. That's right, their annual meeting. Then they announced that they were going to, their annual report came out. That's right. They were going to issue 3.5 million shares, and they did it at 157. They raised $511 million. That's how long it took them to do. And now they've done another $1.1 billion. Finally, these guys should have raised $2 billion back in February when this thing was crazy the first time, like AMC just did. 2 weeks ago. But anyway, here we are. They've now raised $1.9 billion, or they have $1.9 billion. They have no debt. They paid off $200 million in debt, but the stock is not $250. It should be $250 right now on this news, and it's not. And that is disappointing. But I give them the benefit of the doubt. They got the right management in place now. They've got the right executives coming into place right now. They have the game plan in place right now that of what we know of. And in any event, now we want to hear the rest of it. So let's see what happens. We'll be around. It will be around. Oh my. Okay, there you have it. Those are the latest from me. Hi, Uncle Bruce. I wrote a GameStop covered call, strike 282.50 till July 2nd for 1026 premium today. Couldn't resist the $1,000. Right on. Take that money. Yes. That's $1,000 till July the 2nd. Good job. Really, that's a really good job. Yeah. Yep. You're $70 away from the money. Take this $10 premium. Absolutely. This is a gambler giving you $1,000. That is gambling to high stakes. They need this to go to 290 by next week, Friday. Whoa, are they gambling? Well done. Okay, let's continue on. Why is shorting so rampant? It's not rampant. It's always there. Always has been. There's been shorting going on, but it's just now a much more followed sport, let's call it. And there are now firms that brag about the fact that they short stock. They promote the fact that they short stock, like the group that are shorting DraftKings. They're coming out with these official announcements about they have concerns about DraftKings and their finances and their business dealings. They don't have concerns. They are promoters. They are promoting the fact that they're short. They're trying to get the market to fear them that we're short, we think it's going down, you shouldn't touch us with a 10-foot cattle prod. They're trying to scare the shareholders out of the stock. That is what's really going on. And if the shares do drop in value, they will get more aggressive. And what are they doing? They're bragging about it. And that's really what it is. It's nothing new. It's been around forever, for many, many decades. I just wrote a $275 covered call contract on GameStop expiring July 30 for $25, $2,500. Seems crazy to me that it actually sold for that much. Does it seem crazy to you? Yes, Jen, it does, but it doesn't. I'm very happy for you. I'm very pleased. That is really well done. It's a great job. Take this dough and use it as you see fit. Keep it for dry powder, whatever you want. And the stock goes any higher and you have any more stock, then write a covered call at 285 or 290, and then write another one at 310 if you have to. Just take the money. They're handing you this free cash. This is a gambler that needs it to go to 300 a share to break even. They need it to go to 300 to break even on a book value basis. Unbelievable. I commend you. Jendo. Well done. Let's see what else is going on here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Fidelity, GameStop stats are 12,957 buy orders versus 4,300 sell orders today. And let's see. What was that here? Trying to read these comments. GameStop has hired 41 specialists in the NFT area since late March. It's all coming into place. Just be patient and hold your shares. Do not paper hand. This is the non-fungible token business coming up. That's going to be fun. Let's see. What else is going on here? Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Can't stop and I won't stop GameStop. There you have it, right there. Yeah, the GameStop company is they're busy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and that York, Pennsylvania fulfillment center, 700,000 square foot warehouse, that is well under construction now. They're putting money into that, setting up for further distribution of e-commerce merchandise. This NFT, this non-fungible token thing is happening. The e-sport gaming thing is happening. There's a lot going on, and I can understand they won't speak right now. They're not ready, but when they are ready, they will really bring out some serious news here. You need to make a new pick of Bruce and Jen for the alerts. Thinking Bruce and Jen dancing to Yoko. Any other good ideas? Maybe you could come up with some stuff here. Jendo, both good deals. Trying to do mine every week. There you go. Alex, sounds like a great talent. Well done, Jen. It's times like this I wish I had 100 shares of GameStop. Fenville, Jane, here is the Google Sheet link, which I copied the Excel to. And there you go. Fantastic. Final count on the Dow was a gain of 68 points. And then S&P was up 21 and NASDAQ up 111 points. That was the final count. Over on our shares, on our favorites, let's take a look right now. SOFI closed at 21.20. It's trading at 21.25 in the aftermarket. GameStop 219 on the market, 219.59. It's now 218.60. ATIP closed at 9.26, and that's exactly what it's doing in the aftermarket. It had a gain of 17 cents today. AMC closed at 58.26, and it's at 58.11 right now, down 15 cents. Gore's Holdings 15.03 on the day, up 77 cents, trading right now at 15 in the aftermarket. 23andMe closed at 11.67, down a nickel on the day. It's trading 11.64 in the aftermarket, down 3 cents. Fifth Wall Acquisition ended up gaining nicely 36 cents to 11.82. These shares were hovering around 11.60 most of the afternoon, and then they took a shot to 11.82. They don't have any auction on the aftermarket at the moment. We've got Vector Acquisition sitting at 10.35 on the end of the day, down 6 cents. In the aftermarket of 10.31, down 4. And Navsite was 9.96, and it's not trading yet in the aftermarket. SVAC Starboard trading at 10 to 10.01 all day long. It's being held here. Sound familiar? It's being held here to getting ready for the shareholder vote whenever they call it. Vanik up $1.62. Home Depot up $4.97. IBM down only 34 cents. Dow up 68. Microsoft up $2.88. Apple up $1.68. Tesla up $2.88. And that's where we're at on some of our favorites today. And there you have it. That's what it's all about, kids. Tomorrow should be another, as it usually is, an interesting day. What will come up tomorrow regarding the company at GameStop and the new CEO? What is going to happen? I don't know. What do we got for thumbs ups right now? We have 454 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for that. We do have 1,038 of you here. If it is possible that I could plead with you to kindly hit the thumbs up button for us, it would be very much appreciated. We have 14 thumbs downs and 454 on the thumbs ups. So we're shooting about a 30-to-1 ratio. If you could hit that thumbs up quickly as you could, get this going. We'll run through a couple of hundred of these and get it into this 500, 600, 700 range. There's a chance we might make 1,000 by the time I finish the show. I don't know. But boy, I would really appreciate if you could help us out with these thumbs ups. They make such a difference. 518 now. Already, they're just flying in here. Thank you guys so much for this. 523 now. And thank you for the 3 thumbs downs. Those of you who are taking my pleadings seriously and hitting me up with thumbs downs. Oh, someone took one away. Okay, 16 thumbs down. 538 on the thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. Keep them coming in if you could. Please hit the thumbs up button for me, and tell YouTube, what do you think of this? This is how you tell YouTube that you like us, that you like this channel, you like this group that you're with, you enjoy being here. You're letting them know, hey, YouTube, this channel is a winner. This is a place where really good people hang out. We love watching the market, talking about the market, like the plain English approach to it. And we're here making money. 583 now. We're going on for 600 right now. The 600 is going to be hit any second now. Thank you, guys. We have 20 on the thumbs downs now. We've added 6 of those, but we're at 592 on the thumbs ups. We're going to bust through 600, keep that 30-to-1 ratio going. Thank you all so much for helping out this channel and building up the thumbs up count. This really makes a difference. There it is, 601 right there, and they're still coming. Beautiful job, everybody. Right from 454 to 604 now in a span of, 3 minutes of me begging for these. In honor of this, I have to give you some niece. Thank you for all these thumbs up. 613, and we're going to throw some niece out there to celebrate the accomplishment of 616 thumbs ups. Here come the knee attacks. Thank you all so very much. GameStop's now $219.40 on the aftermarket. We'll give us some more knees. Maybe we can make that stock go even higher. Fantastic, everybody. 627 thumbs ups now. 22 thumbs downs as the thumbs downs try to climb on top of each other to hate us as much as possible. But thank you for all the love and all the support from you on the thumbs up. 636 now. 636. Beautiful job, everybody. Thank you all so very much. And all of you throwing in the neat emojis behind it. You got to love that. 639. Fantastic job, everybody. Well done. One and all. Thank you very, very much. Okay, there it is. What a day. Man, oh, man, oh, man. I'm kind of tired. I think I'm going to pack it in. I want to say thank you for seeing me. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for those of you who watched the video I made this morning on my cell phone. I cranked out a video by holding my cell phone here early this morning before I went live, just to give you guys a heads up about this financing that GameStop was pulling off. And that's been viewed over 2,500 times. It's been really well received. A lot of you kind of enjoyed that, and I'm glad you found it all right, helpful, useful. That video of 2,873 views just on that 6-minute handheld video with no editing, just one take, and that was all she wrote with all the flaws and everything else. But thank you guys so much for your support and best wishes and everything else. I'm going to get to work now with Jen to continue working on the class side of the channel. We'll get ready for launching of the classes as well, and we'll keep you posted on that timing as soon as we have it. 666 thumbs ups. There they are. For some people, that's bad luck, but we're on our way to 700 here. Thank you, guys. This is good stuff. And again, thank you, every one of you. 21.29 up 9 cents on the aftermarket on SOFI. Right now, we could use a little more of that, I'll tell you. Guys, have yourselves a great night, and take care of yourselves. Join me tomorrow morning. We'll be going at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow Eastern time, and we'll keep you posted on what's happening here, and let's see what's going on. Have a great evening, everybody out there. Thank you so much for all your kind wishes and everything else. I appreciate that. Jen and I appreciate you all. Thank you, Brent, for this. I make money even on down days with my Uncle Bruce. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, man. See you, peeps, says JW. Thank you, Bruce. Have a great night. And all of you, thank you. Let's show some love for the Uncle B. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome, as always, as you always are. 685 thumbs ups and still coming in with only 21 on the downside. Thank you, guys, for this tremendous sign of support of the channel. I cannot thank you enough. Send those alerts anytime. Uncle Bruce says, well, you got it, buddy. Goldman Arax, Bruce, there will be classes on how you pick these stocks. Will there be? You seem to have picked golden gooses so far. We'll go into all kinds of stuff in these classes. There's no end to them. I was thinking I'm probably going to do about 20 of them. And then I'm thinking, gosh, I could probably do 40 of them. And I thought, oh man, every day that goes by, I get so many good questions. I might have to do 60 of these. You never know how many I end up doing. But we'll get a bunch of them out there, get them launched, get them rolling, and then we'll just keep adding to them from time to time. And we'll just kind of, come up for an excuse. Oh, looks like we need a couple more classes, and I'll do some more. You guys will help me pick the topics because your questions tell me a lot of what to do. T-Bone, really appreciate your stock passion and willingness to keep me level-headed every day. You betcha, man. No problem. Tiffany, thank you for joining this channel as a new member. Love having you. Glad you're here. Any of you out there want to join this channel, you can join anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can join this channel. You just have to hit the join button on my homepage, and you can always join us. Love having you in here, and everyone will welcome Tiff in. That's fantastic. Guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you later tomorrow morning, 8:30, unless there's some breaking news. In the meantime, I will bring it out, and we'll do special alerts for you. But in the meantime, thank you all, and have a great evening, and we'll catch you tomorrow on this channel. Bye for now.